Hi, this is Ian Crane from Event One Software, and today I'm going to show you how you can use Sage Timberline Office Connector to create some of your own Excel-based reports. The series of 5 examples I'm showing are all documented online on our Getting Started page. If you want to follow along with printed directions, you can get there by activating the Add-ins ribbon if you have that, and then going to the Office Connector toolbar and clicking on the blue Help icon. That will take you to our Getting Started page where we list the quick tour exercise along with these 4 exercises, and we're going to start with the APGL reconciliation today. Here's the list of directions and what you can expect to see on the page. So let's get started. I'm going to start out by labeling the sheet APGL reconciliation. The first thing I want to insert here is a list of accounts. I want to see accounts that have been used by accounts payable, and I'll be able to tell which ones those are because they'll have transactions posted against them. So I'm going to click where I want my query to show up, and then click on the Query Wizard toolbar button. I'm going to use the Timberline construction sample data because this exercise was designed for that. I will be presented with a list of tables. There we go. And we want to look at the AP transaction table. I'm just going to type the name AP transaction and click Next. And I want to get the accounts payable account. So ACCOUNT. There we go. Accounts payable account. I'm going to check that box. And that's the only field I need off this table. Click Next. Don't have any conditions, but you can imagine there's going to be a long list of accounts if there's one for every transaction, and we're going to get rid of those by excluding duplicates on this options page here. I'm going to tick off the exclude duplicate rows box, and that will make it so each account only gets listed once, and accounts that don't have transactions won't show up. It's just based on the data that's in the table now. So I'll click Finish to insert the query. Next, I want to label these accounts, so I'm going to put some columns in here for account title and current balance. And let's give ourselves a little bit of room here. I'm going to apply bold formatting here to make that look nice, and then click on my insertion point, and I'm going to insert a lookup function to look up the account number that we got out of the transaction record off of the main account list in Sage Timberline Office. So here's the Lookup Wizard toolbar button. I'll give that a click. And we want to look in our main account list, the GL account. And I'll click Next. And the account is going to come from a cell reference in A4. That's where our items are listed. So I'm going to put $A4 so that the row number 4 will increment for each row in the query. And then we want to pull in account title and current balance. And I click Finish to insert the formula. Next, I want to establish an as of date for my balances to use when I sum the transactions to get the current amounts. So I'm going to click in A1 and type as of date. And then B1, I want to put my date. I'm using 5/31/2011. As we talked about in an earlier exercise, that date depends on your version of Sage Timberline Office. And here you can see in the directions when we're talking about adding the date, there's a link to a page that shows the date you should use based on your version. Okay, and I'm going to apply bold formatting to my label. And then more importantly, I'm going to name my input cell, and I'm going to call it as of date. Now that I have my as of date, I'm ready to enter values for columns off of the transaction table that would sum to my balance. So that would be the amount. We'll need that. And we'll need retainage and miscellaneous deduction. And now I'm going to use the Sum wizard to accumulate the values off of the transaction table based on that date for each account. So I click on the Sum Wizard toolbar button, and I'm going back to the AP transaction table. I'll type AP trans, there we go. I'll click Next, and I needed amount, retainage, and workers' comp is that miscellaneous deduction. And now I'll add my conditions to make sure I get the right value. And the first thing is we want it for the correct account, so I'm going to type accounts. There we go, accounts payable account. I want that to be equal to the thing in column A for the row we're on. So in column A for the row we're on, and I'll hit OK. And then a second condition, we need to use our as of date so that we get things for the correct month. So I'll just scroll up here to the accounting date, and I want it to be less than or equal to the as of date. You can see it's set to a cell reference, and since I've named it, it'll show up in the list here, as of date. And I click OK to insert my last condition, and I can click Finish to insert all of the functions. So those three columns add up to my AP balance. So I'll type that here, AP balance, and I want to accumulate those values here. I'm going to type in a formula, and I'm going to do amount minus retainage minus the deduction. And then I want a column to figure out the difference. Hopefully there's not a difference. The difference between the current balance in the account and the AP balance at month end. And that's going to be the C4 plus the AP balance. Cool, we got a 0. And now to flesh everything out, I'm going to go ahead and click refresh. That fills all my formulas down. I can double click these column headers to auto size them. Got a little bit of room here. There we go. And now I can save this report and reuse it every month. Just next month I open it up, type in 6/30/2011 here, click the refresh button, and I'm done with my reconciliation for month end. Assuming you get all zeros in the difference column. Thank you for taking the time to do these exercises. I'm confident that the time you're investing now will pay big dividends as you utilize Office Connector to improve your daily workflow.